Hello there, my name is Mumini Alao. For you to enjoy more episodes of Soccer Talk with Mumini Alao, please subscribe right away, like and share my video. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to a fresh episode of Soccer Talk with Mumini Alao. My name is Tunde, your regular host. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, with us today, as always, is Mumini Alao himself.
Thank you very much, Tunde. Thank you, viewers.
Well, the NFF elections have come and gone after so much drama, so much controversy, and of course the threat of a potential lawsuit. It didn't happen. The elections were finally held, and Pinnick Amaju created history, becoming the first man in over 50 years to be re-elected as the president of the Nigerian Football Federation. A few other people also got back onto the board, but more or less it is somewhat the same board that went into this election.
To a large extent.
To a large extent. So finally, hopefully this has, do I say that events have overtaken the Giwa court case, put it in the background, hopefully?
Well, maybe not exactly, Tunde. But before we get into the Giwa thing, because for me, that just continues to be a distraction. Let us congratulate Amaju Pinnick for making history. On the 20th of September 2018, he became the first man in Nigerian football history to retain the seat as chairman of the Nigeria Football Federation or Nigeria Football Association.
President of the
Today, I think I will refer to Pinnick as a man of destiny. Why do I say that? 4 years ago, when he became NFF president for the first time, he was actually going to be the returning officer for the election in Delta State. All right? He was already appointed by Aminu Maigari as the chief returning officer for that election in 2014. And I remember writing in my column at that time, Soccer Talk in Complete Sports, that look, Amaju Pinnick is not qualified to be the returning officer. Maigari, if you keep this man and you let him execute this assignment, people will eventually take you up and the election will be null and void. And lo and behold, Maigari responded and Pinnick was dropped as the returning officer. Soon after, Maigari now ran into trouble with the federal authorities and then he couldn't run for the chairmanship anymore. And that was how Pinnick, because the elections were holding in Delta State. Overnight, Pinnick became a candidate, all right, and he won the election.
Some say that he schemed his way to that election. Look, it was held in Delta State.
I remember clearly that after those elections, Pinnick was asked that how much did you spend to win the elections? And he answered pointedly that yes, monies are spent when the elections are held, and that is a statement of fact.
Yeah, true.
One thing I like about the young man is that he does not run away
from a fight.
Okay? Look, if a lot of people go into elections and they pretend as if they don't spend money, he came out and said, look, you know what? Yeah. Money is spent. All right?
That's a statement of fact of
Nigerian life. And that's all over the world. When elections are held, monies are spent.
Did he conclusively answer that those allegations of 4 years ago by going to Katsina, defeating all the northern candidates right in their back?
When I said he's a man of destiny, that's where I'm coming to. Because subsequently, for somebody who was just going to be a returning officer, today maybe you are missing the point.
No, not at all.
He was just going to organize the election in 2014, and that was going to be it. All of a sudden, he became a candidate. All of a sudden, he became the NFF chairman. When even a few weeks to the elections, his name was not on the ballot.
It's like saying the INEC chairman suddenly becomes president of Nigeria.
Absolutely. So that's what I talk about, destiny. And look at what has happened to him between then and now. All of a sudden, he took on Issa Hayatou, the emperor of African football for more than 3 decades.
Yeah.
And he successfully
dethroned him.
Dethroned him.
A masterful coup.
He went on all the way to FIFA. He is now, hands in glove with the president of FIFA. All right? Look at what he has achieved, for himself, in terms of politics, in terms of advancement, as a football manager. Yes. You just have to give it to him. When people talk about, play some underhand games here and there, you have to prove it. You have to prove it. Whether he bribed anybody, whether he gives, you have to prove it.
And to
I think what he has just proved for me is that he is a master of the game. And that's why I said I was coming to the Katsina episode. As NFF president, he could have influenced the venue of those elections. This 2018 election.
Considerable
he
amount
could have
of
taken
clout.
it to Edo State, which is just next door to him.
Lagos,
or a more friendly environment. But he took it to the heart of the north. In fact, the home of Mr. President, where a lot of people have said, oh, the Northerners will not vote for him. And what happened?
a landslide.
It was a landslide. So, Tunde, what I'm saying is this. If Amaju Pinnick can bring into play, okay, the expertise he has shown in terms of politics of football into the management of Nigerian football, we are going places.
That's actually my next question.
We are going places.
What is the agenda for this new NFF board now with this new year, four-year mandate that they have?
Well, I am not, the way I've spoken so far, somebody will even think maybe I'm Pinnick's campaign manager. Or that maybe I'm his personal assistant. Of course, you know I'm not. All right? I'm just giving credit where credit is due. But in terms of projecting, into the future, what the next 4 years might hold for Nigerian football under the Pinnick regime.
I think what they should be doing.
What they should be doing. Okay,
the agenda
that's my own opinion now.
Yes, your opinion.
Okay, in terms of what I think they should be doing. To be honest, Tunde, first and foremost, I think they should continue on the path that they have started in their first tenure in terms of attracting commercial sponsorship for Nigerian football. Because whether you like it or not, that is what has helped them the most in securing this second term, in spite of the opposition from the Minister of Sports. Yeah. Because look, to a large extent, the NFF have been able to finance quite a number of their own programs.
At least 75% of their financing over the past few years came from private
sources. So if they were able to go 75%, then they should be able to complete 100% in the next 4 years. For me, that would be a major achievement because we have been on this for a long time, for decades, actually. When we complain about money not being enough, we go to tournaments, the players are not paid, and this and that and this and that. We went to the last World Cup, there were no issues at all right? So, number one assignment for Pinnick, for me, will be to ensure that he completes the assignment that he has started in terms of winning Nigerian football, in terms of finance,
from the government,
from
100%
independent, self-sustaining, like we see all over the world. All right, that's number one. But of course, if we still go to qualify for the Nations Cup, we are going to the World Cup. Government still has a role to play in terms of what they win, in terms of support. Exactly. But the NFF should not be waiting for government. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we will need to look into the NFF statutes. Okay, to also now solve this problem that keeps us going back to the courts when we have elections or when members of the NFF feel aggrieved or members of Congress feel aggrieved, they go to the local courts. I think the document at the National Assembly now, which everybody is waiting for to solve this problem, will not solve the problem. In fact, what we need is to remove that document completely from the National Assembly. We don't need any legislation.
And let football be
we should just
incorporated?
Absolutely.
As a private company?
As a private, I think we already have that with the LMC.
Yes.
All right, to a large extent.
But we'll go a step further with the NFF.
We need to go a step further with the NFF itself. All right, so that we just operate only on the NFF statutes as approved by FIFA. The NFF statutes will be put together by members of Congress. It's not going to come from FIFA. No. What FIFA will just do is to endorse it.
Ratify.
Okay, and in that document, we need to now have it clearly stated that no member of the Nigeria Football Federation, either at the state or the national level, can take any issue to the local courts. I think that should now be stated very, very clearly. And then the next step will be for us to inaugurate our own domestic
conflict resolution
mechanism. You know, there was a time that Adoke Amesimaka was tipped to be the chairman of that body. So the NFF should now work on that to make sure that, number one, the NFF statutes is completely the only document running Nigerian football. We don't need to go to get anything from the National Assembly. Because the problem of getting any legislation from the National Assembly is that when you need to make any amendment, then you have to go back again to the National Assembly.
The upper house needs to sit, the lower house needs to sit.
And we know how long it takes. But if it's just the statutes, all you need is a Congress. You can even call an extraordinary Congress if you want to adjust, make amendments to the statutes. All right. So so those will be my two primary assignments for the NFF. Finally, the third one will be grassroots football development. I think in the last tenure, we qualified for the World Cup. We didn't qualify for the Nations Cup. All right. But I think we should start getting to the point where we don't rate performances of NFF administrations only by which tournaments they qualify for or which one we didn't qualify for. Rather, we should look at what structures they have put in place, okay, so that even after them, what legacies have they put in place? Because, for instance, talking about financial autonomy for the NFF, talking about, you know, inaugurating the status as the only document to govern Nigerian football, this will be legacy achievements.
True.
If the new, Pinnick and his team are able to complete the assignment that they started. Okay, so it wouldn't matter whether they qualify for the Nations Cup or they don't qualify for the World Cup. That is a different matter entirely, because really that should be the problem of the coach. That should be the problem of the players. That should be the problem of the technical committee. It shouldn't be the problem of the executive committee. You know, the last time Germany didn't qualify for the second round of the World Cup, we have not. The Germans have not asked the DFB, you know, top brass to resign. All over the world, Brazil didn't qualify. Holland didn't qualify at all for the World Cup. You know, so everybody should know who is responsible for what. All right. So I've mentioned it. Number one, financial autonomy. Yeah. They should complete the assignment. They've started very well. Number two, the statutes. Number three, work on grassroots football development.
I think it's very clear that you've laid a very, very solid and very thorough agenda for the Nigerian Football Federation over the next 4 years. And hopefully we hope that they're listening or probably watching this program and they will implement everything that Mumini Alao himself has said. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. And congratulations once again, Amaju Pinnick.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Soccer Talk will make a return same time on this same channel. My name is Sunday Kweki, saying bye-bye.